What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 11 battle for the APA Academy. Today we are facing off against the Buffalo Drills and their coach, Tony, and we are honestly in for a game of stall. This team is very scary. It's also a team that's gone to time quite a few times this season so far, which is kind of scary because I hate going to time. I'm not good at thinking through my options in how to win with time. But anyways, this is going to be an interesting game for us because we don't really have a great matchup as well. So I could see it in a way where we don't go to time. I could see us losing pretty quickly because Lugia is absolutely terrifying. Same thing with Ashgren and Mega Charizard X. The rest of his team I can kind of handle decently well, but it does have some decent walls that are going to be kind of a problem for me to deal with. Anyways, let's just jump into the matchup. So like I said, my opponent has a team of Lugia, Greninja, Mega Charizard X, Florges, Milotics, Snorlax, Hitmontop, Registeel, Rotom with Z moves, Rhydon, Gorgeous with Z moves, and Azelf with Z moves. Well, we have a team of Ho, Tapu Koko with Z moves, Aegislash, Mega Latios, Dugtrio with Z moves, Amoonguss, Miltank, Seismitoad with Z moves, Hawlucha, Bisharp, and Illumise. Now, if you guys look at your screen, you can see I did not bring Ho. I did not bring Ho this week. Why? It had a terrible matchup. Ash Greninja outspeeds and one-shots it if it's in its Battle Bond form or if it's Life Orb, unless I have the Water Berry, and even then it can still have Rock Slide. Mega Charizard X will probably have Rock Slide. Lugia will probably have Hydro Pump or something. There's Rhydon, which is a complete wall to me unless I'm running Giga Drain or something like that. And I didn't want to run that. So I decided to run some really weird and funky sets, and I guess I'll just get started. So the first mon that I had built for this matchup was actually my Seismitoad here. We have an Impish Natured Seismitoad with Icy Wind, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, and Knockoff. This was not my first set. This was my last set. Why did I say this was my first one? Anyways, whatever. So we have speed for no speed Lugia when it's at -1. The reason for that is because I have Icy Wind, of course. We also live a non-boosting Grass Knot from Greninja, so if he's not Life Orb or Specs or Expert Belt, we'll take the hit if he's not Battle Bonded. We are not 3 killed by no special attack Florges' Moonblast after leftovers, and we're not 2 killed by Dragon Claw from Admin Zard X after leftovers, or O-code by +2 Jolly Dragon Claw, which is also important, just in case he manages to get up that high. Lugia's Aeroblast doesn't 2 kill me if it's at +1 from Calm Mind, if he has no special attack, and Knockoff is there because it's the best chance of all the moves I could possibly have to break a Lugia's substitute. Moving on though, I'll go to the actual first mon I built, which is my Mega Latios, which is, let's see, trying to find the actual set, there we go. So Mystigan, it has Thunderbolt, Dragon Pulse, Calm Mind, and Roost. Very standard set, I know, but it's so damn good in this matchup. I'll go over exactly what we have here. So we have speed for Zard X, HP and special defense, so we're never O-code by Timid Specs Dark Pulse from a non-Battle Bond Greninja. Yeah, I had to take out quite a bit of VVs from my special attack to put that into my special defense for that. We're also never O-code by Life Orb Greninja after rocks. We have special defense to always, or special attack to always O-code a max HP no spit def Milotic after rocks with a +2 T-Bolt. We then have Adamant Rhydon's Rock Slide is not enough to 2 a KOS ever, and we always O-code Zard X with a neutral Dragon Pulse if he has speed for Ho, max attack, and the rest put into special defense. So that's like, I think 76 EVs? Yeah, so 76 EVs in special attack, that's it. That's all we have. I'll just go over this set really quickly again. It's 12 in HP, 76 defense, 76 special attack, 164 SPDF, and 180 speed, so a really good mix of investment over here. Our next mon is going to be our Tapu Koko here. Coco is running a Z-move set this week with the Fairy Z with T-Bolt, Dazzling Gleam, also Calm Mind, and Roost. This set is really good against his team. Again, Electric types are fantastic, and I have the Dazzling Gleam, which can hit the Zard for neutral damage as well, which is very important here. This set has special attack to always 2 kill, the same Zard set that I was calcing for the what is it called? The Mega Latios, and with Dazzling Gleam at +1. Sorry, we always 2 kill the same, yeah, with so Dazzling Gleam at +1 will always 2 kill that set, and we always O-co it with +1 Z Dazzling Gleam. We have speed for Greninja before Battle Bonds, and we're never KO'd by no special attack Florges' Moonblast into Moonblast with a +1 boost in special defense. And same with Lugia's no special attack Earth Power, we're not KO'd by that into a Moonblast, into a Earth Power without, or with the boost in special defense from Calm Mind. If you guys can understand any of that, yeah. Anyways, our next mon is going to be our Aegislash here. Aegislash is an interesting mon this week. I'm running King Shield, Toxic, Substitute, and Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw I have to run because I'm dealing with the what is it called? Because I'm dealing with, I'm trying to think of the name, the Lugia. But I think I end up switching out Toxic on this set for Sacred Sword. That would help me with the Snorlax. It also helps me with the Greninja. So that's my set. We have Special Defense and HP, so Timid non-boosting Greninja's Dark Pulse doesn't 2-hit kill me. He has to be Modest or boosting item to do that. Also, a Specs Battle Ball Greninja's Dark Pulse doesn't OHKO me, so that's very important. If this Greninja is taking some chip damage already, and I'm at full HP with my Aegis Slash, and he specs, he's locked in the Dark Pulse, I can fire off a Sacred Sword without worrying. The only thing I have to worry about is getting flinched. Anyways, we also have Defense and HP, so Rhydon's Adamant Earthquake doesn't OHKO us if we're in shield form, and the rest is put into our attack and our speed. Our next mon is going to be our Amoonguss here. Amoonguss is holding the Aqua Berry this week with Foul Play, Spore, Synthesis, and Giga Drain. Foul Play is there to do tons of damage to the Charizard X. Spore is there to put things to sleep. Even though I do have the terrain, I know how that works. But I need to run Spore this week. It's the only way I can afford to bring Amoonguss, because if not, it doesn't take a hit from Zard, and it just doesn't 2-hit KO back with Foul Play, especially if he doesn't click Dragon Dance or something. Synthesis for recovery, and this is a pretty good check to the Greninja, so I'll go over the notes for it right here. So we live a Flare Blitz from Jolly Zard X after rocks with my berry. I'm also never 2-hit KO by no special attack Lugia's Aeroblast or non-boosting Greninja's Ice Beam, or 2-hit KO by any non-Ice Beam attack into Ice Beam from Life Orb Gren. So if he goes for Dark Pulse into Ice Beam and he's Life Orb, we won't drop to that, which is very cool. And we're also not OHKO'd by Timid Specs Ice Beam from Battle Bond Greninja. So again, if he specs locked into Ice Beam, we won't die. I calc a lot of specs. I calc a lot of I basically calc any type. I calc no boosting, I calc Life Orb, and I calc specs, because Greninja is such a huge threat to my team. Honestly, a lot more than Lugia is, and Lugia is a huge threat to us. Now our last mon is a Hawlucha, but it's not really a good Hawlucha set. It's good for this matchup, but it's ridiculous. This is the weirdest set I'm bringing this season probably. I'm running a Rocky Helmet Hawlucha with Encore, Roost, Taunt, and Toxic. Yeah, what the hell is this? We have Speed for Charizard X on this set, and we have HP and Defense, so we're never OHKO'd by Jolly Zard X's Flare Blitz, and we're never OHKO'd by no special attack Lugia's Moonblast, or not Moonblast, Aeroblast. The main idea with this thing is to lock my opponent into Calm Mind or Substitute or Dragon Dance with this set, or even like a physically offensive move that isn't going to be able to do tons of damage to us, even maybe like a Dragon Claw, and I can just keep recovering on that. Yeah, then just the only damage I'm going to be doing to him is the Rocky Helmet chip. This set is basically meant to make sure that he can't set up on me, and that I can go into my Coco or my Latios and just set up on him. That's the only reason I have this. I would love to have U-turn on this set too, but I can't fit it on there. Basically, there's so much I would want to run on this Hawlucha set, but it's really cool. Encore, Roost, Taunt, and Toxic is all I gotta do. If I can manage to Toxic the Lugia, I'm gonna be in such a great spot. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into the battle though, because that was a pretty long intro. Alright, so looking at the 6 that he brought, I was kind of surprised when my Milotic came, but looking at the team that he has, my Latios just goes in. If I get a Calm Mind or 2, then I can just win, which is fantastic. The Coco, same as well. If I get 2 Calm Minds, I'll have to use the Z move on the Rhydon, which kind of sucks, but I feel like if I can wear that thing down enough, then I'll be in a good spot. Obviously, I don't have the Ho to wear it down pretty easily. It would be worn down pretty easily by Ho, yeah. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into it. And looking at the team matchup, I'm thinking my best lead is going to be the Amoonguss, because I'm pretty sure he's going to want to lead off with the Greninja because it gets U-turn, or with the Rotom because it gets a Volt Switch. I feel like that's a pretty good lead on his part, and I lead off with the Amoonguss here, as he ends up not leading with either of those, and he leads off with the Charizard X. So yeah, that kind of sucks. It means I'm probably going to have to pop my Aqua Berry right away, and I'm going to just fire off a Spore here, as I'm expecting to go for the Flare Blitz. And the reason why I went for Spore is because if I can get this thing asleep, it'll really lower the threats that it poses to my team. So he's the one to Mega Evolve, and he actually goes for Outrage here, which is fine by me. But now I'm kind of wishing I'd gone for Foul Play, because we would have been able to chip this thing down. I can just go into my Coco right away and get a free Calm Mind against him. Or no, I couldn't. I'd have to just like attack him right away. But still, we put him to sleep here, and now I can go hard into my Latios. The reason why I go into Latios is because I can set up all over it. Again, like I said, 2 Calm Minds, I can just win. He ends up going into the Rotom here, which it's not the end of the world. It does have Shadow Ball or potential or Hex, a Toxic or whatever to break me. But at this point in time, I'm thinking to myself, I can really break his team and just force Coco to sweep the game later on, and I'll be in a good spot. So I just Mega Evolve and click Calm Mind here. Even if he goes for Toxic, I can just obliterate him. I believe a +1 Dragon Pulse should get the KO if he's got very little bulk, and if he has a lot of bulk, then +2 will definitely get the job done. So I go for Calm Mind here, and what does he end up doing? He ends up firing off, wait for it, the Will-O-Wisp, which is fantastic because I can now just win the game. There's nothing he can do. He definitely has Hex. I'm expecting, if he wasn't Scarf, I knew he was going to have Hex. So it makes me think he's going to be more defensive set. So I'm going to get up a second Calm Mind here because I can just set up the +6 honestly against him, because a +2 Latios in special defense and special attack with my spread and with the Hex and probably his investment will not be too KO'd by Hex, even though I'm burnt. So look at this, it does nothing to us. It does like 30%. I will take that. We're now at around half because of the burn damage, but I'm just going to recover back up, get to full, and I'll be in a good spot. And honestly, at this point, it's pretty much game over, and yeah, there's nothing that he can do about it. So this should be a pretty quick battle for us, which is fantastic. He's going to go for Hex. He's going to do absolutely nothing to us. But of course, he crits us, and he kills us. Yeah. Like, people say, like, oh no, like, it's not bad, Matt, you don't get hacked too much. Like, yeah, I kind of do. That was game right there. He even told me after the fact. That was game right there. He had nothing to stop me. Nothing. Anyways, I go into Coco here because I'm like, hopefully he just does the same thing. Hopefully he tries to burn me, and then he goes and he tries to Hex me because I'm going to do the same thing. He's not going to crit me twice in a row. So I go for Calm Mind here, hoping he stays in because I need him to stay in or else I can't get the KO on the Rhydon with my +1 Z Dazzling Gleam. He ends up switching out and going into the Rhydon. I'm thinking to myself, well, shit, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to go for the Calm Mind. I'm going to fire off the Z Dazzling Gleam because at this point, I do not care. I'm so done with this game right now that every time I try and set up with anything, especially my Latios, it always gets crit, flinch, hacks, whatever. And yeah, so I go for my Z move here. Maybe I can get a crit here, and maybe I can get rid of the Rhydon, because it's been kind of ridiculous the past few weeks where I'm just getting hacked out of games. And when I do get lucky with hacks, it doesn't matter at all. So Z Dazzling Gleam comes out. Doesn't get the KO. Is he not a Violet? Maybe he's Grass Knot, and because a +1 Grass Knot should definitely KO this thing, so I don't know why he stayed in, but he did. And he ends up going for the Earthquake. He lives the hit, gets the KO my Coco. There's nothing I can do against that. It's going to KO. Rhydon's pretty damn powerful. So goodbye Coco, and now my only 2 offensive win cons are gone. And he's got all of his mods in the back. I go into my Seismitoad here, and I'm going to fire off the Icy Wind. Again, Icy Wind is the play because it'll get the KO on the Rhydon knockoff Might Not, and he ends up going out into his Rotom here, which, fine, I mean, it's Rotom, whatever. I go for the Icy Wind, I lower its speed now, so now I will outspeed it, which is great, but at this point, I don't want to get burnt, so I'm going to go into my Hawlucha because I don't expect him to go for the Volt Switch here. I expect him to go for the Will-O-Wisp to obviously burn my Seismitoad, get the residual damage off, force me to potentially pop a Z Refresh if I was running that. But I go into my Hawlucha here because obviously I'm not running any offensive moves, so I don't need to have any. I don't need to have anything to. I don't need to worry about the Will-O-Wisp. Obviously, it kind of sucks that I have to take the 6% every turn, but it's not the end of the world. I end up going for the Encore here. My plan is to lock him into the Will-O-Wisp and then fire off a Toxic, because at that point he's going to switch out. Here he's either going to go for a Volt Switch or he's going to go for a Hex. It's one of the two. There's no other options. I go for the Encore here, and we lock him in, which is fantastic. So his next turn is useless. I have no idea what he went for in this situation, but still, we managed to block this thing into Will-O-Wisp, and I can fire off a free Toxic. Now the only thing that would make this a perfect situation would be if he went hard into his Lugia. If he did that, then we'd be in a fantastic spot. If he went to his Charizard, that kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. So he switches out now. What does he go into? He goes into Kuko, which is going to be, or I don't know if I pronounced that right. He goes into his Lugia, and we managed to get the Toxic off on him. So this game is still in a really shitty position for us, but it's in a slightly less shitty position because of this damn ridiculous Hawlucha set. Yeah, so at this point, I'm going to switch out, and I believe I go into my Seismitoad here, right? I think I go Seismitoad. Yeah, so I switch out, and I go totally, yes. So Seismitoad comes out, and Seismitoad has been a really impressive mon for me this season so far, and I've really been enjoying it. But he ends up switching out as well, and he goes into Rich Brian, which is going to be his Rhydon, and I'm going to fire off the Icy Wind because Icy Wind is the best way I can do to kill this thing. I don't want to take the damage from Earthquake. I don't want to go for rocks against me. I need to make sure I can get the damage off and KO that thing. So with the Icy Wind, he ends up going into the Rotom here. And at this point in time, I'm thinking he's not going for the Will-O-Wisp, because if he goes for Will-O-Wisp and I go into the Hawlucha and I lock him again, we're just going to go around in circles, and I'd be in a pretty much of a bit more of a winning position than he would be. So I end up going for the knockoff here as he stays in, which is fantastic. And at this point, I don't know what he's going to go for. I'm still pretty sure he's going to either go for Volt Switch or Hex. And we get rid of his leftovers, which is great, and he goes for the Hex. So I kind of wish it was Volt Switch, but it's not the end of the world because that does nothing. And I'm going to go for another knockoff here because we should, in theory, get the KO against him, which would be amazing. Getting rid of this Rotom would be huge for my Aegislash because it obviously has the Will-O-Wisp and then it speeds. So I go for a knockoff here, but unfortunately he lives on 1. I don't know what kind of roll that was, and he goes for Pain Split here, which it really sucks. And now he is at more HP than he was before, and I have to go for the knockoff again. And honestly, at this point in time, he can just burn me, and I just said, you know what, I don't care. He got the KO. He lived on 1. Either that was a really good roll in my favor or not, and it's just kind of heartbreaking to get the KO or not get the KO there. But as you see, we end up getting a crit, so we got a bit of luck in our favor this time, and that's great. Didn't matter too much in the course of this game, honestly, because you think about it, there's nothing really that I can do. But he goes into Greninja here. I drop to a Dark Pulse if he specs. I drop to a what is it called? A Grass Knot for sure. So I go into my moves here, hoping that he goes for the Grass Knot, because if he goes for a Grass Knot, I can still potentially live an Ice Beam. So he ends up going for the Dark Pulse, so which really sucks. Obviously, I won't be able to take this hit anymore. I'm going to switch out, and I go into my my Hawlucha here, thinking that because of that damage, he's not a boosting item, so I'm thinking he's potentially Scarfed. And a Scarf Greninja is definitely something that I was really expecting that could potentially come to this game. And he goes for another Dark Pulse, again, does very little, and I'm going to be able to fire off a, I believe I go for Toxic on this set right now. So I go for the Toxic here as he ends up going for the Ice Beam, so revealing he's not Scarfed, and at this point, he's going to be able to get his Battle Bond form, and yeah, that's very scary. The good news is, I have my Aegislash in the back. Aegislash KOs with the Sacred Sword, which is amazing, and I'm definitely thinking we have a good shot at still winning this game because of the Aegislash alone, because the Florges, it can't beat us. The Lugia is Toxic, and I have King Shield. There's, what else? There's this thing, which that's Sacred Sword, and then there's the Charizard X. So I'm going to just go for Sacred Sword here. There's no downside to me doing that. He goes and switches out into the Charizard here. This thing is 3 KO'd by Sacred Sword because it's so damn bulky. But yeah, so I go for the Sacred Sword here as we are going to do, what? How much damage we're going to do? Like 30%-ish? Yeah, we do about 30%, but what's going to do more is going to be a Shadow Claw. So I believe I go for Shadow Claw right here, right? Is that what I do? Shadow Claw, yes. So Shadow Claw comes out, it'll do a bit more damage to him. There's also the potential for him to crit. And now the only thing is I have to worry about him waking up this turn. It will be a 2-turn wake, and he doesn't get it, thankfully. So hooray, we get to keep our Aegislash around, which means we still have a shot at winning this game. I go for another Shadow Claw here, and we get the KO on the Charizard, which is amazing. But now he has to bring in his Greninja here. That's his only option. And again, there is a pretty heavy roll in my favor to actually get the KO on this set. It's a roll nonetheless, but it is a roll that's pretty heavily, that's like 80%. So I'm going to go for King Shield here because I want my shield form up. That way I can't be KO'd by the Dark Pulse. And at this point here, the only thing that can save him is if he flinches us. So I'm really hoping that he doesn't get the flinch. I was thinking to myself, just no flinch, no flinch, no flinch. And he flinches us. We were going to bring it back. I mean, like at worst case, it was going to be a 1-0. Maybe a 2-0, but we were bringing this back. Because, in case you didn't know, my what is it called? My Toad was out of range for Dark Pulse at this range. So the game doesn't matter anymore. There's nothing I can do. Everything drops to a Dark Pulse or an Ice Beam or whatever, or 2 Dark Pulses in the case of my Toad. Yeah, I'm like, I want to make playoffs. I really enjoyed building with this team, but I'm just getting either haxed out. There are some situations where I've been choking, I've been not playing the best, but I don't see what else I could have done there with the Latios. And even though I was like, I don't care anymore with the Coco, I was still really competitive in the game, and I basically was bringing it back had I not been flinched. And you see, I did end up living the Dark Pulse from the Greninja. And we do, what, 60% to him? I don't know. We're going to end up losing this game 4-0. Do I believe we deserve to lose 4-0? No, I think we could have potentially even won 6-0. We could have even won 1-0 if we had gone, or maybe 3-0, depending on how like the hits went with this team. But no, instead we dropped 4-0. And now it's so unlikely we make playoffs. It's insane. Like, we're 6th in our division, and I think we have to hope that, I think Sticks, he has to lose his Week 12 game, and we have to win our Week 12 game. and then we would finish 7 wins, 5 losses, and he'd finish 6 wins, 6 losses. And even then, if he ends up winning, I think we have to win 6-0, and he has to win like 1-0, and even that's like the best. That's the best case scenario. So we lose here. Kind of pissed because obviously I would have liked to get the win here. It would have been great, but yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys enjoyed watching me get hacked out once again, make sure to leave a like on the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We have tons of new subscribers from the Sun and Moon, or Sun Ultra Moon Gen 7 recap video. So if you guys are new and it's your first Draft League battle of mine that you're watching, hi, how's it going? This is what happens a lot. I lose to hack sometimes. Anyways, yeah, I'm just salty right now, but thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to answer the comment question of the day, and yeah, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you all next time.